So I'm going to show you how to add and subtract rational numbers using scoreboard. So if you think about a scoreboard, we always want to think about which team is winning. And so what you'll see is I'm going to be always talking about two teams, that positive team and the negative team. And we're going to use our scoreboard to figure out the answer to addition problems. So in our first question, we have an addition problem. And here's how we use scoreboard. So there's going to be the positive team and the negative team. In looking at this value, negative 18.6, that is what we would say is how many points the negative team has. And then to the right, positive 14.1, that's how many points the positive team has. Which team is winning right now? Well, you can see that the negative team has more points. And then I asked the question, by how many points are they winning? So don't worry about this problem. Once you create the scoreboard, you're just going to ask yourself the question of who is winning and by how much. And the and by how much is actually how you solve the problem. We take our 18.6, our 14.1, and if I want to know by how many points the negative team is winning, I would subtract. And so we end up with 6 minus 1 is 5, 8 minus 4 is 4. So 4.5 points is how much the negative team is winning by. Question number 2. In this case, we have a subtraction problem. Scoreboard only works with with addition problems. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is change this problem to addition. And we do that by using the additive inverse. So we put parentheses around the number we're subtracting. And that way we know instead of a subtraction, we're going to do an addition. And instead of 91.5, we add negative 91.5. I'm going to put the negative 45 back. Notice we did nothing to that value. When we subtract, we use the additive inverse property to be able to do our subtraction as addition. So, using scoreboard, here's my positive team, here's my negative team, there's my scoreboard. Right now I see that the negative team has 45 points, and then here the negative team also has 91.5 points. You can obviously see that the negative team is winning, and if we were going to ask how much they're winning by, in this case, I would have to add the values together to get the total score of my negative team. And so I end up with 136.5 on the negative team. That's how many points they have. That's also how many they're winning by. So that becomes the answer to this question. Example 3. Another subtraction problem. So I'm going to put parentheses around the number I'm subtracting. I'm going to change this to adding the additive inverse. And then we're going to put back the 45.7. And then same thing, scoreboard. Once I change this to an addition problem, I can use the scoreboard. My scoreboard has 45.7 points on the positive team, and then I have 76.7 points on the negative team. The negative team is winning by how many points? Well, I would do 76.7 minus 45.7. And so 7 minus 7 is 0, 6 minus 5 is 1, and 7 minus 4 is 3. So the negative team is winning by 31 points. And then this one is a little bit of a longer problem, but we're going to still use our scoreboard. What I notice is I have a subtraction here, so parentheses around the number that we're subtracting. And then I'm going to change this to adding the inverse. Okay. And I'm not going to change the rest of the question, so this would still be negative 53 and this would still be plus 12.5. All right, now that everything is addition, I can do my scoreboard. So I have 53 points for the negative team. I have 12.5 points for the positive team, and then I have another 23.18 points for the negative team. Now, when you have many points on a team, you're going to have to figure out how many points they have in total. So I have 76.18 points, okay? So 76 and 1800ths is actually how you would say that. That's how many points the negative team has. They're obviously winning. Negative team has been winning a lot, huh? And then I would have to compare by how much they're winning. So that's where I would do my 76.18 minus 12.5. 8 minus 0 is 8. Regroup to 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. 5 minus 2 is 3. 7 minus 1 is 6. So the negative team is winning by 63.68 points. And that becomes the answer to that question. So you can see that the scoreboard method works for all these problems. So remember, the scoreboard method only works for addition. So if you have subtraction, you have to use the additive inverse property.